Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to askNK. Today we are looking at EmberGen. So within the last time we talked about EmberGen, we talked about the idea that EmberGen 0.5.5 was released, and since then we've gotten the 0.5.6 and right now we're looking at 0.5.6.2. Now with this said, there are also some very exciting news about EmberGen that the folks at JangaFX have released, and we're definitely going to talk about that. Now, some of the cool things that have been happening with EmberGen is, first of all, we have good simulation. Simulation is, is always good in EmberGen. It's real time, come on. So it's always good, but now it looks even way more realistic. And the last time when we talked about the volumes, we did say that the volumes looks good, but now if you also scroll all the way down and you go over to where we can see things like stylize, where we can see, the noise, this looks even cleaner. And in terms of the hyper or the hybrid experimental looks way better compared to what we had before. So generally we're getting a very cool, nice and very lovely feedback. Now the folks at JangaFX have also dialed things up a bit by simply making this even way more stable. So at this point we're getting a very good frame rate, and the stability time looks very, very nice. So for those who haven't used this before, if you haven't ever used this before, you can actually go ahead and download this from the folks at JangaFX. I'm going to put a link in the description where you can get it. Meanwhile, if you would like to get your snapshots, you can now click right here to get snapshots. If you want to record all of these things as sequences, you can click on this button right here and get it. Now for those who want to do animations and stuff like that, of course you can, and I think it's also a very good time to take a look at some of the very cool examples that now ships with this. So if you're looking for some of the cool examples that now comes with this, there are some very nice ones. So for example, like the swamp looks really, really cool. I love it. So you can go ahead and take a look at this. So you can now grab this and you can take this totally out from here and throw this into Blender and you start rendering, and this is very lovely. For those who want to experiment with all of these things, of course, you can do all of these things now. Now, lights have even gotten better. So if you want to play with the azimuth for the lights, you can do this. So we can get this right here. If you want to play with the elevation, you can also do the same thing. And for sure, if you want to play with the intensity, you can also get some very cool visual feedback. And the reason why I want to dial in too much on some of the things that you can do with this is we covered a couple of videos about it before, so you can simply take a look at those ones and see how these things work. Now if you go over to the preview section, you can preview this. So we've looked at this one before, so in case you want to preview or you want to look at these things before you export this, you can either take a look at the emission, the albedo, the flick mask, the all of the mask possible. You can see this, and this is best for games and for those who want to render sequences and get these things out. Now if you want to export VDB, we've also looked at this, that once you actually go over to where you have the volume, so let's see if we can find that. So if you go over to your volumes, you go over to scene, you can literally export things out. So let's go over to export, select VDB, and we can wire this all the way to simulation, and from there we can now simply export this. So if you want to export VDB, set the number of frames that you want and then fire the export. Now the folks at JangaFX, they've actually published a very nice teaser. Now the teaser has to do with the EmberGen 0.7.5 coming out very soon. From the teaser, saying within the early quarters of 2021, which we're in right here, that we will probably be seeing 0.7.5. Now what will this be coming out with is one of the big questions you might be asking, and it's simple. One of the exciting things is animated meshes will be coming with this. So we've already talked about collision before, and just in case you have no idea, you can actually throw in collisions directly in here. So if we go over to the ray tracing section, actually let's get a brand new scene like so. So if we get a brand new scene and we go over to collision, click and drag, add a collider, and let's also do that, click and drag and add a simple primitive and have this here, we can do some collision. Of course, you can see this happening already. So you can select that and you can see real-time stuff is going on right here, and we can have these things happening right here. Now if you want to change this or you want to import your mesh, you can click drag and go over to the mesh section, import the mesh you want to work with, and it's going to voxelize that mesh before it automatically converts it to a collider. Now the beautiful news now is, instead of working with very still meshes or very static meshes, you can now do some very cool things. For those who like to play with noise, of course this one has existed over time, so you can also play with this one. So if we increase the scale like so, and let's actually play with this, of course you can see that we're having this cool stuff All right, so for abstract creators, people that would like to create abstract stuff, of course you can now have fun doing this. But you know, out of the back, this just makes a lot of sense. If we're getting animated meshes, and you know, from here within the Trello, they're saying these animated meshes would have to do with either Alembic and FBX, either of this format or both of them will be coming. And we also see that there is a retiming simulation, which means that the timeline is going to have a little bit of a rework. There is a new pyro and also a fire, smoke, and shading system that might probably be coming. And we are also seeing that the DPI scaling is definitely going to be upraised to 2K and also for 4K plus monitors. Importing of cameras from DCC softwares like, you know, Maya, Blender, 3D Studio Max, and Houdini is also going to be supported. And of course, we're also going to be getting multiple mesh import support. So the fact that we're getting animated mesh is cool, but getting multiple ones is also very nice. Undo and redo is also something that a lot of people have battled with, and we're going to be seeing that. Animated 3D textures for spots is definitely going to be coming. And of course, we do have a couple of other things, and I'm definitely going to put a link in the description. So just in case you want to see either the future release, the past release, the present one, and also the ones coming within the first quarter, you can definitely avail yourself, you know, an opportunity to see this roadmap and get good with it. So very cool stuff is coming, and I'm very excited about what the folks at JangaFX are doing. Sometime within their previous live stream, they did tease that there will be a real-time liquid, a real-time liquid simulation tool that will be coming, and this definitely sounds exciting already. And of course, they're saying right now that this is something that might be coming towards the end of 2021. Kind of looks far, but let's just simply hope and, you know, pray that this definitely comes. So if it comes in and gets as fast as this one, you know, gets as real in terms of real time, is just going to be very, very lovely. Now, for those who haven't tried this and you want to try this, you want to see how true this is, you want to play with, you know, creating some good flames, you want to be able to work with things in real time and export these things, you can simply go over to the link in the description and you'll find a link to JangaFX where you can get a trial version. You'll find links to previous videos that we've covered all of these things and covered lots of topics about this one. And of course, you also find link to our Discord and also link to other social media where you can get in contact. So tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section. And of course, if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give it a like, and don't forget to share with a friend. And if you're new here, it's going to be amazing for you to hit the subscribe button and also turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or the next update. And until I see you guys again with a tutorial update, Free Friday, Tutorial Tuesday, tips and tricks, things like this.